my story, what I'd like to explain is you don't need to get rich overnight. I feel like, and what I tell people is it's more of a get rich slowly scheme. So I've been doing this for 10 years, but really without using my money. And I don't want to flex here, but if you want any numbers on the profits on it, but it goes up exponentially. I mean, rents go up 3 to 5 years. Rents really go up. The equity builds up. The net worth builds up. The cash flow builds up, and of course, along the way, you build systems and places, and it gets easier as far as managing them.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. And today, for me, this is a very, very exciting episode. And I'm going to tell you why. If you've been watching me for a good little minute, you know I'll say the reason why I'm excited is because I get to look and interview people and look through things from their lens, from their perspective. That's what excites me, because everybody has a perspective. Everybody has a different lens when it comes to real estate. And for me, it's special today because this person has a special lens. And I'm not sure if he realizes it or not, but I realize it because everything he's told me lets me know that this is special. And I am so excited because I want him to talk about his journey in his own words. And I know it's going to give you a ton of value. And so please allow me to introduce you guys to Mr. John Morgan. Mr. John, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
No, man, thank you for being here. Happy to have you here. And listen, John, want to dive in. And this is what I want to do. I want you to just tell us what your main focus is these days, like what you got going on in real estate. I want you to give us a little bit of an origin story, if you don't mind, of how you got into it. And then tell us what markets you're operating in. And so, John, sir, you got the floor, man. Take us through your journey in real estate.
Sure. So I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Grand Prairie, Texas. And I'm married, 54 years old. My wife's 50. I still have a W-2. My wife retired about 4 years ago based off our real estate mailbox money coming in. I got 2 kids, 22-year-old. She's graduating tomorrow from Dallas Baptist University, and a 20-year-old son. So I got involved 10 years ago, kind of by accident, in the real estate. And I've been investing for 10 years, basically just buying 2 houses a year on average. There was 1 year I bought a bunch of cheaper homes out of state, but my whole portfolio right now consists of 31 single family rentals. I've got 18 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I've got the remaining amount are in Arkansas and Missouri. So that's basically my situation. The way I got involved on it was we used to travel up to Branson, Missouri. It's a tourist town with the kids. And I ended up with, making an offer on a house. I did zero due diligence. I didn't want to be a landlord. I was scared to be a landlord. I'm not handy. So I didn't want to be a landlord and deal with stuff. But I thought, what if I buy this house out of state? It was already turnkey, had furniture, had a property manager. and I can let somebody else deal with all the headaches. So that's basically how I got involved in real estate.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And it sort of, my journey evolved from being more of a Dave Ramsey guy where you have to have everything paid off. And that's when I started. To be honest with you, I only had 25,000 in the bank. I didn't really have any money to afford this house. I made this stupid offer over an email to the listing agent, and they wanted 137,000. Hit the market that day. She said he's not taking any less. So I told my wife, I said, hey, let's lob out 128,000 for fun. And I did that. And I said to cash to close in 2 weeks. Like I said, I only had 25,000 in the bank. I was making 40 grand a year with my W-2. Like, we didn't have much money. Anyway, make a long story short, they accepted. I had to find the cash somehow, and bought my first rental, got my feet wet. And it sort of morphed from there, from turning to like a Dave Ramsey guy, with cash, having that house paid off. I borrowed money from a home equity line of credit, 401k loans. I took some money out of our Roth IRAs. And over time, I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and my whole philosophy changed. So I bought that house and another one. They're both short-term rentals, cabins in this little touristy town. And my return on investment was only about 5%. When I calculated all my expenses, with property management fees and taxes and insurance and things breaking, I was like, we're only making 5%. This is terrible. I'd be better off in the stock market or something else. But then I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he says, oh, no, you use other people's money. You leverage, you do this, you do that. And that basically opened up a whole new avenue for me by taking those two properties and doing a cash out refi to buy more properties with 20% down. So I wasn't able to kind of get my wife on board. She's still not on board. So she didn't want me using any of our own money. And
Mhm.
stop me if you want me to, slow down or whatever. But
Sure.
versus using our own money to buy real estate, I had to sort of get creative with the two properties that I had that I ended up paying cash for. I used all the income from it to pay off my home equity line of credit, to pay off my 401k. And then I started doing cash out refis on one of them to buy three more houses. And I started buying those houses were close to where I live, within 30 minutes in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 20% down on this one, 20% down on that one, 20% on that one. And to tell you the truth, these are just base hits. These were just, I got them off the MLS. I made kind of lowball offers. They got accepted, and I really wasn't crushing it. But my story, what I'd like to explain is, you don't need to get rich overnight. I feel like, and what I tell people is, it's more of a get rich slowly scheme. So I've been doing this for 10 years, but really without using my money. And I don't want to flex here, but if you want any numbers on, the profits on it, but it goes up exponentially. I mean, rents go up 3 to 5 years, rents really go up. The equity builds up. The net worth builds up, the cash flow builds up, and of course, along the way, you build systems and in places, and it gets easier as far as managing them. I self manage my 31 properties too, except that very first short term rental. I do have a property manager there,
Yeah.
but I self manage the 30. But I found by using the equity when that was built up in these, I would take that equity out and harvest it. Basically, instead of sitting on debt equity, I would take that money, do a cash out refi. So I was able to scale up and get 14, I believe, 14 houses for free, just using the equity built up in these rentals that I used, basically from the original amount from my home equity line of credit and my 401k. I've also done, and I'm not saying I recommend the the strategies and the way I've done it. You know, a lot of people think it's probably too risky, and maybe the Dave Ramsey method's fine and just pay cash for a house and save for 5 years and just slowly do it. But I was able to buy 14 houses from, I believe, 5 or 6 cash out refis. So I would just, do a cash out refi on a property. For example, the first one, I paid 130,000 for it. I did a cash out refi a few years later, and the bank gave me 140,000 back. So, and I didn't do any work to that. I did 0. I think I fixed a couple things, a hot water heater and an HVAC, but I got all my money back. I was like, "Wow, this is great, tax free." And
Mm,
I used that money. I got a little extra. I got more than I paid. I was all in for 130, and I got 140,000 back. So what I did is I paid cash for another house,
mm,
and then I fixed it up a little bit and used, like, 0% interest for your credit card loans and things like that. Again, my wife didn't want me using any of our own money. And then I went to a bank, and I put a renter in there, and they gave me 80% of the value. So I basically got all my money back.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And then I lobbed out a cash offer to the next house off the MLS. And I told the listing agents, I always go with the listing agents, I feel like they gave me some good intel on the sellers, and I know they represent the sellers. They're not supposed to tell me anything, but can't hurt for me to say, "Hey, what's their situation? How motivated are they? What kind of offers have you received?" You know what I mean? And they're not supposed to tell me anything, but before you know it, they're telling me, "Oh, they went through a divorce and they want to close quick," or "We had an offer of X amount last week." So I'm thinking I'll come in with X amount plus 5,000. You know what I mean? So I was able to buy the next house. Oh, and I'd make my offer saying, I will pay you cash, but I do gotta do a cash out refi on this other one that I have paid off. It's gonna take my bank 2 or 3 weeks, but I can close on your house in 3 or 4 weeks cash if
mm,
you're cool with that. And I was able to buy several houses that way. Then I pay them cash. And then later on, I go to my bank and I say, "Hey, I do a cash out refi on this one." And they will give me 80% back. And I do the same thing. I go to another house, another listing agent, and say, "Hey, I can offer you cash, but I can't close until about 3 or 4 weeks. I got to pull cash out of my other rentals." So I was able to get some pretty good deals off the MLS doing that. I bought a house with a 401k loan. I thought this is really risky, but I'd say it's a crack shack in Fort Worth. I paid 48,000 for it. Had a tenant involved. I mean, it was nasty. It was disgusting. It was roach infested. There's rats running around. I bought it sight unseen. I thought it was probably worth 80 to 100,000, but I wasn't able to see the inside. This guy was just selling some of his portfolio. I kind of fixed it up and I put a renter in there, and I was making, before you know it, a few years later, again, doesn't happen overnight, but 3 or 4 years later, I'm profiting like $1,200 a month off it. Thought that's
mm,
great. It's paid off. I paid off my 401k with all the cash flow. So anytime I buy these properties and I have some kind of a loan, like a 401k loan or occasionally a consumer line of credit from a bank or 0% interest for your credit card loan, I'd pay it off. So that house, I had it paid off. I was making 1,200 a month, but I thought, geez, this is dead equity just sitting there doing ain't nothing for me. I wonder if I could get more money out of that one. Again, my wife wouldn't let me use our money. So I thought I'll just do a cash out refi on this one. So about 3 years ago, I did a cash out refi on that one. And what did I do with the cash? I bought three more houses. And those three houses combined, I just totaled up the amount last night. It's 47,000 a year, profit net off that one crack shack I bought for 50,000 with a 401k loan, and I paid that thing off within, it was a 5-year 401k loan. I paid it off in like 4 years. So that's like that's great. That's a huge return. I'm getting all my money back every single year, and now I've got 4 houses. I kept the original one. I have a mortgage on it. It's only making 200 a month. Versus the 1,200 I was making a month, but I took the equity, bought 3 more houses down, 20%, 20%, 20, So that's the way I've, kind of scaled up my business without really using my money, and I used all the cash flow and profits off my rentals, and I put it right back into the debt that I was trying to pay off, the short-term loans and stuff like that. So I was surviving off my W-2. My wife, she was working for a little while. She retired about 4 years ago. Because I told her, I'm like, "Our rental income's, like, double what you're making. Like, why don't you just retire early?" And I'm in the situation where I wouldn't mind retiring early myself, but math doesn't lie. Like, you can just pencil these numbers. I'm talking back of the napkin math off. Here's a purchase price. Here's how much my profits will be. It's going to probably appreciate 3 to 5% over, a year if it's a growing market. This isn't rocket science. Like I don't have any background on finances or real estate or anything else like that. And I didn't have a network of people. I didn't know anything. The first 3 or 4 years, I didn't know Bigger Pockets and these podcasts existed. I'm just fumbling around. Should I try a class B neighborhood? Everybody says you should buy properties in a good school district, low crime. And to tell you the truth, that was my first residential single family house. My appreciation was the lowest. My profits was the lowest off this house. I thought it's a beautiful brick house, and my wife loved that house. And then I started buying homes in, I would say, class C, C plus neighborhoods, like the blue collar, working class, cheaper, lower rents, and my profits were a lot higher.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
My monthly cash flow is a lot higher and I'm paying a lot less for the homes, but my property taxes were lower. The school districts weren't as good. Well, people weren't moving to these neighborhoods for the school districts. They're moving there. They just need a cheap place to live or be near their family. And these people, I found out later, turnovers crush profits, as you know. You have a
Mm-hmm.
turnover within 3 or 4 years, that just eats up. You got to paint and sometimes new floors and repair. But I found these class C, C plus class neighborhoods, these people stay forever. They won't ever be able to qualify for a house or afford to buy a house. So they're great. And I tell these people when they move in, and most of these houses I bought were actually came with tenants. So I found a lot of tired landlords. You can pick them out easy on the MLS. You look on Zillow and you see these houses with, I don't know, dirty dishes in the sink and they're not professionally photos. Hey, that's a tired landlord. He or she's not going to be able to sell to a family because you got to kick these people out. They just want to sell it and get rid of it. So I bought a lot of properties like that. But the first thing I tell these folks, hey, if you want to stay here, you can live here forever. I bought it off this guy. I do have a mortgage. Your rent's going to go up a little bit. Also, what's wrong with your house? I'll upgrade your house. I'll fix things, but I make it clear that this is your house. If you want to paint the rooms, if you want to do those things, I'll help you out, but rent's gonna have to come up. Usually, here's market rent, but here's where I'm willing to meet you. I feel like if I keep these people 150, $200 below market rent, they've been there forever. Some of these people have been there 10, 15 years before I even bought it, and they know that they can stay there as long as they want. I won't have any turnovers. So that's kind of been my strategy. And like I said, I'll give an advice saying, "Oh, go take out a 401k loan or go take out." I did a cash out refi on my primary to buy, I don't know, house number probably 4, 5, and 6, I took out, maybe 80 grand out of my primary house to buy 3 more rentals, 20% down on this one, 20% down on that one. Is it risky? Yeah, but the interest rate at the time was kinda low, and I looked at it like, well, in 10 years, those 3 houses will be worth a fortune. My cash flow immediately kinda covered my mortgage that went up X amount. And now here 10 years later, that was 8 years ago, those houses are just killing it. So that's kind of been, my strategy
Yeah.
along the way in a nutshell. Well, kind of a long story, but so feel free to dive deeper on anything or ask any other questions.
Man, no, I thank you. Like, you have given so many great examples of taking what you have and building on what you have. I heard you, your wife kept saying, listen, we're going to use our money. So you found a way to just let your investments keep investing for the next investment and investing for the next investment. I mean, you have built something that's absolutely great. The way that you have went about doing things is great. The systems that you put in place, I think it's proven it. So to be true and proven itself to be successful. And so I thank you for sharing. I think you have given a ton of nuggets and a ton of different things for people to think about. I want to ask you, what's the next real goal for you? Like, do you have a goal in mind that you're aiming for? Like, what's next for you?
So my next goal is right now the cash flow is plenty. I don't really need any more um, of that. But what I have in the last 4 years, I started doing these co-living, rent by the room houses. I kind of fell into it. I bought a house. I was going to rehab it, and it did come with tenants, and when I bought it, the seller was gonna have the tenants out by then. Two of them were not able to get out. They're older, living off fixed income. One was formerly homeless. I didn't realize this until I closed. He literally said, "Hey, do you mind if these people, can you give them a few weeks," kinda thing? And I said, "Yeah, no problem." So I started rehabbing the house, and I told these older people, I said, "Hey, you're gonna need to leave. I'm gonna rent this out to a family." Anyway, make a long story short, I ended up renting it to them. I ended up renting it by the room. I found other
Hmm.
people. I put on Facebook Marketplace, rent by the rooms for like 600, 500. I think that was 550 a month. And I ended up finding people that were either they're formerly homeless, they're living off Social Security or disability and things like that. And I really enjoy helping those folks out. And I ended up buying two more houses in the last 3 years, helping the low income folks get around. And they are so thankful. I plant flowers every spring. I put Christmas lights up. I feel like I'm giving back to the community a little bit more. To me, I feel like I used to work at a food pantry, and you're just boxing up food and you're giving it to people. You walk it to their car and you talk chit chat to them for maybe 5 minutes. But this, I feel like I'm interacting with these people. It's a lifelong thing. One lady, she was formerly homeless. I mean, just hearing their stories, living in tents under freeways and getting robbed and mugged and all this other stuff. She texts me every day. And she's so thankful that I have she has a place, safe, a roof over her head. And to me, I feel like in a way I would enjoy that kind of investing where I'm helping other people. So I feel like in the next 2 to 5 years, I have started doing some Section 8. I have started investing out of state into Arkansas and Missouri in really low income places. And I'm giving these people nice homes. I fix them up, put them on Section 8, and I try to be really good. When things break, I fix things right away. All these people that I bought these houses from, they're like, "Wow, our previous landlords never did anything," so they're sort of slumlords. So I feel like I'm giving back. Am I making a profit off this? Yes, but could I make a bigger profit? No, but I'd rather help out the community. So that's kind of been my maybe my future goals. Yeah, I feel like it's rewarding helping me help these other people out and giving them good cheap places to live. As you
Hmm.
know, the housing cost is just astronomical, and I've dealt with the city and Fort Worth. They don't like that I'm renting by the room, and I'm telling them like these are great people. Just because you might have mental illness, just because you might have schizophrenia or
Hmm.
anxiety, or you're formerly whatever your background is, and have, doesn't make them bad people. I make sure they don't do drugs in the house. I make sure they get along. They share the chores, and they cut the grass for me, and I'll plant the flowers every spring, and they water them for me, and it's like one family for them. I said, doesn't make them a bad person. And I've literally had two cities out here that say that's what homeless shelters are for. And I said, a lot of these people have anxiety. They have a pet and they want to keep their pet with them. The homeless shelters, I've looked into it. They can't. They have to check in and check out, and they can't have pets. I'm like, if they don't have their little dog or whatever, I give them a place to live for 500 or 600 bucks a month. It includes their Wi-Fi, their heating and air conditioning, essential heat and air, and they get along. And it gives them a sense of community. But I find out here in the Dallas area, they don't care about it. But I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to help people out. So I'll fight tooth and nail. And I told these people I will fight tooth and nail. And I've even told the city people, I said, I'll go to court and give me a jury, and I'm gonna save these people. I have the nicest looking house in the block. And they do say that. They say, you have a beautiful house. You fixed up the outside. I've remodeled these houses where I have these rent by the rooms. But I sort of enjoy that aspect of it, and as well as the Section 8. There is a need for a lot of my Section 8 are single moms, and they maybe a high school dropout, or they work at Walmart and they have kids and they don't have a dad giving any child support. So I do enjoy helping those folks out, and Section 8 has been very good with them, and I'll give them a nice, clean, safe place. So that's kind of where I'm drifting in the future. Maybe I'll get a property manager to manage some of these to keep my wife on board. She doesn't
Yeah.
like the interruptions. Sometimes we're on a date or something, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Like last week, we were on a date and somebody had a water leak in a wall or something. They sent me a
Mhm.
video, so I just copied that video and I sent it to handyman. It took me maybe 3 minutes, and she was irritated because she knew something was going on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm back with you, but little interruptions like that. So maybe I'll gravitate towards more like have a property manager kind of overrun things. But
Yeah.
I enjoy interacting with the tenants. They say don't have a relationship with your tenants. I enjoy it, and I'll help them out in hard times. I just credited a lady $500. She was behind on rent. She said she wasn't going to do Christmas for her kids. She's going to pay me $1,000 a week. She's working 3 jobs. I said, relax. Let's
Mm.
talk in January. I just credited I do all my payments online on a portal called apartments.com. I said, I just credited you $500. You're having Christmas on me. We'll talk in January. So I enjoy helping the folks that are just like struggling. I don't want to be some greedy guy that's doing it, but my systems in place provide that. And what I tell people is, hey, you can do it. Just start small. Don't swing for the fences. Base hits do eventually produce runs,
Mm.
and your strategies may change over time, like mine did. Mine was
Yeah.
to have 10 paid off houses in like 15 years was my goal. Like to have by the time I retire, on
Mm.
10 houses that'll give me 10,000 a month, and I'll be good. And then over time, I'm like, I kind of like this. I enjoy this, and
Yeah.
try new things. But anyway, that's kind of my goals from here on out.
Man, Mr. John, man, this has been absolutely great. You don't even understand. Like, this has been a phenomenal podcast. I sincerely love what you're doing. I love your mindset. I love your get rich slowly mindset. I love that you tapped into Dave Ramsey financial piece. I think that has definitely helped you out so much, and you just putting his things into place. I love how you're hitting base hits, and I just love everything that you're doing, helping your community, giving back. I just think this was a phenomenal episode, and I just think you're a phenomenal person. So thank you so much for gifting us with your presence. Me and my wife, we have a saying where we say, "Your presence is a present," and today, your presence has truly been a present to this podcast. So I appreciate you being here today, man.
Yes, sir. Glad to help. Hopefully I can help somebody else.
Oh, you definitely did, sir. Listen, if someone wanted to reach out to you, collaborate with you, learn more about what you're doing, do you have contact information? Do you want, people to get in contact with you? Where do you stand with that?
Sure. And feel free. My email, I'll just give my email. I don't have a business or
Perfect.
anything, but I'll give my email. And if anybody has any questions, they can just email me and I'm happy to chat with them. But it's my name, John Morgan, JohnMorgan 1.jm@gmail.com. So if anybody has any questions, you want to get in contact with me, I'm happy to help. And I enjoy helping others. I enjoy mentoring and giving back because I didn't have that growing up. And sometimes someone needs me to just run numbers or give them a second opinion or look for red flags on a certain deal because I didn't have that. And I've made a few mistakes along the way. Of course, you learn from it. But if anybody wants to reach out, I'd be happy to give them any kind of advice for free.
Beautiful. Listen, you heard him. Listen, reach out to Mr. John. He's there for you. Mr. John, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your story. Thank you so much for your perspective. Today was really, really great for me and great for our audience. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all got the value from Mr. John. You can't tell me this episode was not valuable. So please go ahead and make sure you are subscribed. That way you continue to come in when we bring up incredible people just like Mr. John. So again, thank you, Mr. John, and everyone else. We will see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.